We're back for the top of the fifth on Larks Network. We apologize for having to start a new stream. The technology issues in Colorado continue after the rain damaged some of our equipment. 1-0 is the count on Cameron Pearson after Divis grounds out to Olsen to start the fifth. It is Ronnie Gregg's fifth inning of work. He has the count 1-1 to Cameron Pearson. Larks up 5-0 in the top of the fifth with one away. Second delivery in the zone after a ball. This one is a swing and a miss from Cam, 1-2. Cam on the day, 2 for 2 with a double and a triple. Drove in a run and also has scored. Cam has scored 2 times. One of 2 Larks on the roster today with 2 runs scored. The other one is Wyatt Divis. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base is empty. To Pearson. 2 delivery into the left-hander's batter's box. Full count. On deck is on deck is Corbin Truslow. In the hole is Palmer Hutchison. Swing and a miss from Pearson. He's down for the first time today. That is the 5th time the Larks have struck out today. That's number 34 on the season for Rodney Gregg. Corbin Truslow to the box, 1 for 2 with a ground out. A single. Also has 3 RBIs. His third look at Gregg swings above this one. No balls and 1 strike. RBIs have come from Pearson, Truslow, and Mcguire. Runs have scored from Divis, Pearson, and Lung. Gregg goes from the windup, lefty versus lefty. It drops into the zone, 0-2 versus Big Truss. Corbin has 9 RBIs over the past 2 days. Has a hot bat, but he's down the count 0-2. Watches this one run outside on a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes, with 2 away and the base is empty in the top of the 5th inning. Larks have scored in every inning but the 4th, and now here in the 5th. They got 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and 2 in the 3rd. Truslow pops this one back off of the inside part of his bat, close to his hands. We'll stay at 1-2 for pitch number 5. Gray goes back to the mound after the foul ball keeps Truss alive. Gray gets set, gets a nod from Dedrick, and goes from the windup. Truslow grounds it down the right side. It's in the gap between Olsen and McGee. A 2-out single for Truslow, his 2nd of the day, 2 for 3 now with 3 RBIs. To the plate now is Palmer Hutchison, 0 for 2 on the day, striking out in the 1st and in the 3rd. His 3rd look at Gregg. Movement for both teams. And the bullpen is number 23 for the Outlaws, not listed on the roster. And Palmer Hutchison, the 3rd baseman, lines out to the 3rd baseman for the Outlaws. That'll end the 5th inning. The Larks get another hit. That was number 6 of the day, and it was the 2nd one from Corbin Truslow. We move to the bottom half. Larks up 5-0. Ryan Reuter walks back to the mound for inning number 5 of his day and starts another batter off with a first pitch strike. It's Nate Heffelbauer at the mound, the shortstop, in the batter's box, the shortstop from the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a leadoff guy in the bottom of the 5th. He's the 7-hole. It's his second at bat as the Larks are about halfway through their 3rd time through the order, and the Outlaws not even through their 2nd time. Ryan Reuter allowed 2 straight base runners in the 4th inning off of a hit-by-pitch single, picked up a strikeout, and then got a double play from Hutchison to Long, then to Truslow. Hitters count to the shortstop. It's grounded right back out. Reuter gets it, tosses it underhand to Corbin Truslow. The 2nd time, Reuter comes off the bump and throws out a runner. Reuter has now gotten 13 outs and allowed just 4 hits, no walks, and no runs. The most important part. 1 away, bases empty to the 8-hole, Aaron Burkhoff. The DH, who singled in the 3rd, got to second base off of a sacrifice bunt. And then Reuter got a line drive out and then a strikeout to end the inning. 1-0. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1 as Burkhoff is above it. Do it for the Larks in the 6th inning will be Lung, Mcguire, and Burr, the bottom 3. Reuter gets set, goes from the windup, throws a changeup that is slower than what he's thrown before today, and it's off the turf. 2 balls and a strike. And he gets a strike 2 called, painting that outside bottom quarter. Mcguire frames it for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, bases empty. No hesitation for Reuter, goes from the windup, misses low on a fastball. It's a full count for the DH. On deck is Churchill in the hole, McKee for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. Larks undefeated against the Outlaws this season. They're up 5-0 with 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. Reuter's payoff pitch is hit out play over the right side. We'll get a 7-pitch at bat and a 2nd payoff pitch. Payoff pitch number 2, grounded to Hutchison. He digs it off the turf, throws across the diamond to Truslow, who steps back with his left foot but keeps his right foot on the bag. 2 up, 2 down to start the 5th for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. Hutchison has had a good defensive day at second base, has been responsible for 4 outs already through the first 14. Bases empty, 2 away to the bottom of the order. Andrew Churchill 0 for 0 on the day with a sacrifice bunt. Takes a strike 1 looking. Churchill batting .250 this year, has struck out 11 times, walked twice, and has 7 hits, all singles. Lefty versus righty, Reuter paints the inside corner for a called strike 2 off of a fastball. He gets a ground ball to Hutchison again in the hot corner, fields it at his chest, throws to Truslow, who scoops it from the ground. Reuter has retired 15. He has 12 to go, and the Larks are up 5-0, continuing to have success against the Outlaws this year. We'll go to the 6th here on Larks Network. Top of the 6th. Leading it off is the 7-hole Grant Lung. 0 for 1 on the day with a pop-up to a fellow second baseman and a walk. New pitcher into the game is number 23, Randy Good. And Lung fouls off delivery number 1. Good making his first appearance on the mound. Plays at Bethany College. He's a 6'1 freshman from Colorado Springs. His secondary delivery to Lung over the outside part of the plate. 2 straight strikes from Good in his first appearance for the Outlaws. So they go from a southpaw to a northpaw here in the 6th inning. 5 innings for Greg. And he has 5 earned runs. 1 and 2 as this one is missing low. Lung reaches for 1 outside, sends it backwards. We'll stay at 1 and 2 for pitch number 5 of the at-bat. On deck is Max Mcguire. In the hole is the right fielder, Drew Burr. Good gets set, goes from the windup, righty versus lefty, and it runs outside 2 and 2. We'll get a 6-pitch at-bat at least for Grant Lung. Was down the count 0 and 2 in the 4th inning. Then got 4 straight balls and got aboard. This one at his feet, he dodges out of the way and moves across the plate. It's a full count. Grant has 21 walks this year, leading the team. 1 ball away. It's his second payoff pitch of the day, and it runs outside, and he's aboard for the second time on 2 walks. Number 22 on the year for Lung. Runner on first, nobody out. That's the first walk of the season for Good. Now to Max Mcguire, had an RBI double in the 2nd inning, driving in Grant Lung from first base, and then he flew out to the right fielder Bates to start the 4th inning. Good takes a look over his right shoulder at Lung and then delivers high 1-0. We saw Patty Walsh warming up for the Larks. Ryan Reuter has gone 5 innings strong, had a 1-2-3 fifth. We'll see how long Frank Leo wants to take the lefty from Hays, Kansas. Check over at Lung, not in time. Good looks over his right shoulder and throws at the feet of Mcguire. The ball rolls to the backstop behind Dedrick, and Lung moves into scoring position for the 2nd time today. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner on second base in the top of the 6th. The Larks have 7 hits today. They picked up 3 walks, 2 from Grant Lung, and they've scored 5 times and left 3 on. Inside delivery to Mcguire, it's a 3-0 count. And Good has thrown 3 straight balls to Mcguire. Ignores Lung, goes home, and it's low down the middle of the plate. A no-out walk for Mcguire. 2nd time he's aboard today, back-to-back walks for the Larks to start the 6th. They had back-to-back walks in the 4th inning off of Drew Burr and Leo Jeminian. Burr makes his way to the plate now with 2 on and nobody out. Leo wants to have a chat with Drew Burr. Coming out the dugout is the head coach for the Outlaws, who'll have a talk with Good. And we'll see Drew Burr go back to the box. Burr on the day 0 for 1 with a walk and a pop-up. And they'll leave Good into the game after allowing back-to-back walks. It's his first appearance on the mound this year late in the season. He's now talking with Dedrick as the coach moves back to the dugout. Burr will hit in the left-hander's batter's box versus the righty, Good. Mcguire at first, Lung at second base. Nobody out. Good get set. He'll go from the stretch. Looks at long for a few seconds. Drew Burr shows bunt and pops it straight back. Dedrick moves towards it. Dives for it, and it bounces off his glove. 0-1 on Burr. We'll see the infield make the adjustments. Burr doesn't have a sacrifice bunt this year, and Gregory at third base is even with the bag after he saw the bunt, and same with Olsen at first base. Turf field here in Colorado Springs, all green turf except for the warning track, and then it is a dirt mound. Corners creep in. Burr shows bunt again, pops it back. 0-2. He'll be forced to swing if another one goes over the plate. Long at second base has already scored once today. It came off of a double for Max Mcguire, who's at first base. Burr got the win in Friday's game against the Saints. 8 innings strong, hit the strike zone for 88 pitches. This one misses a zone 1 and 2 on the right fielder out of Austin, Indiana. Righty versus lefty. Good gets set, takes a breath, looks at Lung, who's moving around, and Lung moves just enough to make Good step off the rubber. Mcguire goes back to first base and re-gets his lead. Good looks in for a sign from Dedrick, gets the one he wants. Grant starts moving at second base, gets a look from the pitcher, and this one, Drew Burr says it hit his left foot. Umpire didn't catch. He's going to go have a talk with the other umpire in the infield. Burr immediately pointed at his left foot like it hit him. If it did, the bases will be loaded with nobody out. The umpire said didn't hit him. Drew Burr says that's fine. Drew's always been respectful with umpires this whole season on the mound and at the plate. He digs back into the left-hander's box with the count 2-2. Good picks up his front foot with his eye still on Lung, moves forward and misses outside. It's a full count to Drew Burr. 3 straight balls. Burr has already walked once today. Back-to-back Larks have walked here in the 6th. Good gets set, goes from the stretch, and gets a swing and a miss out of Drew Burr, down for the second time today. 1 away, 2 on. To the top of the order, Leo Jeminian making his way to the plate for the 4th time today. It'll be righty versus righty. Jeminian walked in the 4th, grounded out to Heffelbauer in the 2nd, and struck out to start the game. On deck is Matt Cav in the hole, Wyatt Divis. Good delivers. It's off Dedrick's chest protector. Lung starts sprinting to third. Dedrick couldn't get a grip on the ball, punches the turf, and there's runners on the corners. Risky move from Grant Lung to take off so quickly. Paid off for him, and Jeminian's up in the count 1-0. Mcguire stays at first base. Inside to Jeminian, almost catches his elbow. He moves out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes. Mcguire with the small lead at first. Grant Lung with the small lead at third base. Good looks at Lung since he's facing him, and then goes straight to Jeminian down the pipe for a call strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 away in the top of the 6th. Larks scoreless since the 3rd inning. They're up 5-0. This one to Jeminian over the plate at his knees, 2-2. Good gets set, looks over his shoulder at Mcguire, delivers to Jeminian, who pulls it to the third baseman. Gregory throws to second for 1, and the throw to first will not be in time. Jeminian picks up an RBI, flashes his speed, and the Larks are now up 6-0 with 2 away in the 6th. It'll be a fielder's choice for Jiminy, and scoring for the second time today is Grant Lung. Max Mcguire goes back to the dugout. Interesting that we didn't get a courtesy runner for Mcguire. Unless it happened and I missed it. Sean Cooper ran for him in the second inning. Matt Cavanaugh sends one to left field. Moving back is Scholes. He's at the warning track. He can't make a catch on it. It hits the dirt, hits the wall, and Leo Jiminian will be around to score. It's a double for Matt Cavanaugh standing up with 2 outs. Larks now up 7-0. Matt Cavanaugh had 1 home run last year. It was in Game 1 of the season against the Denver Cougars, part of his day where he went 4 for 4. Cavanaugh picks up an RBI. For Matt, that is RBI number 11. Lung scored for the 22nd time, and Jiminian just scored for the 22nd time as well. They're tied for the team lead. Called strike on Wyatt Divis. Divis on the day 2 for 3, a ground out to Olsen to start the 5th, but then he singled in the 1st and the 3rd and has scored both times. He has a runner in scoring position. Second delivery to him off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the DH from Lincoln, Nebraska. On deck is Cameron Pearson and the hole, Corbin Truslow for your Larks. Matt Cav gets his lead at second base. Divis takes some practice cuts. Good gets set. He'll go from the stretch to the guy hitting the left-hander's batter's box. It's outside and low, 2-1 to Divis. That is Cavanaugh's first hit of the day. He's now 1 for 4 with a pop-up, a strikeout, a groundout, and a double. That is the 3rd double of the day for the Larks. 1 from Cavanaugh, 1 from Mcguire, and 1 from Pearson. 2-1, he's late on it, pops it backwards, 2-2. Larks have 8 hits today versus Outlaws where they have 4. 2-2, 2 away, top of the 6th. Larks up 7-0. They've scored 2 in this inning, and Divis will get his 2's delivery with his left foot at the back of the box. Watches it miss low. It's a full count. Second full count for Randy Good in his first inning of work this year. He'll throw to Divis, who sends it opposite field. It'll drop in left field. Cavanaugh rounds third. Ball rolls to the wall. Divis rounds first base, heads to second. It's an RBI double. Back-to-back RBI doubles for Hayes. Larks up 8-0 now. Divis picks up an RBI and Cavanaugh scores. For Cavanaugh, that is run scored number 16. And for Wyatt Divis, that is RBI number 13. Divis has scored 21 times this year, tied with Jiminian and Lung after picking up 2 runs scored today. Two away in the top of the 6th. The Maverick from UTA at second base, the Apache from Cochise College, Cameron Pearson at the plate, 1-0 to Cam. Cam, the cleanup hitter, a single and a home run shy of the cycle, 2 for 3 with a double, a triple, a strikeout, 2 runs scored, and a run driven in. Righty versus righty, it's inside. Painting that corner is good. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away, runner in scoring position. Larks scored 2 in the 1st and the 3rd, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 6th. They've scored all 3 runs with 2 outs as they got the runner out at second on the fielder's choice for Jiminian. That could have been a double play, but he beat the throw out by a step and drove in Grant Lung. 2-1 to Pearson. He sends this one over to the left side. Heffelbauer hops and saves a run on a nice jumping catch to get Pearson out for the second time in 2 straight at-bats. Larks get 3 in the 6th. We move to the bottom half. Larks up 8-0 against the Outlaws. Hey Larks fans, click that subscribe button. It's completely free. This isn't like a magazine subscription or a TV subscription. You won't get billed, you won't get spam emails, but you will help us reach our goal. Right now we're at about 600 subscribers, but we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We have thousands of views from this season, but only 600 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe when you're watching if you haven't yet. When you hit that button, the Larks will show up in your subscription section of your account. That's it. No fees, no payments, no registration or information. Share the Larks YouTube page with your friends and tune into our broadcast. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel, supporting the team, and subscribing. The Larks have the best fans and we're grateful for Larks Nation. Now, let's get back to the game. Bottom of the 6th we go. 5 innings for Ryan Reuter, and it's a day. Not allowing a run to the mound is the tallest guy on the Larks roster. It's a 6'6" junior, Patty Walsh, from Fort Hays State University. Played 2 years for the Dodge City Community College Conquistadors, and then made 7 appearances for the Tigers this year in Hays. His first delivery, a fastball in the zone for a called strike against Bryce McKee at the top of the order. McKee on the day 1 for 2 with a line out to Matt Cav and a single off of Ryan Reuter. Strike 2 called. This is appearance number 4 for Patty Walsh, his second on the road, and he has picked up 2 starts. This is his second straight appearance in relief. Has an ERA of 4 flat and a whip of 1.33. Delivery number 3 misses the zone 1-2. Patty has struck out 9 guys and walked 6. Gets a ground ball to Hutchison, who's had an active day. And playing now at third base, moving in from left field, is Cameron Pearson, as Sean Cooper is now playing right field, and they move Drew Burr from right field to left field. So it'll be a day for Palmer Hutchison. 1 away after a groundouts. So defensively now, it's Burr, Jeminian, and Cooper in the outfield. Pearson, Kavanaugh, and Lung, and Trustlow in the infield. Max Mcguire behind the plate. Patty Walsh on the mound. The hot corner's been a hot spot for the Outlaws today. Have grounded out there 3 times in the past 2 innings. 1-0 to Alex Bates, who's 0 for 2, struck out twice looking against Ryan Reuter. Walsh delivers a changeup that misses the zone, 2-0. Walsh has held his opponents to a batting average of 200, and when balls are put in play, the batting average moves to 261. Has gotten 15 swing and misses out of opponents, and he's down the count 3-0. Bates gets back into the right-hander's batter's box versus the righty Walsh. He'll be taken all the way, and it's a 4-pitch walk. That is the 7th guy Walsh has walked this season through 9 1/3 innings. Runner on first is Bates. Gregory to the box, got hit by a pitch to start the bottom of the fourth, and popped up to Grant Lung to end the first inning. Walsh will go from the stretch for the first time today and gets a strike one called. Walsh throws strikes in about 2/3 of his pitches. This one is a ball outside, 1-1. He's faced 40 batters this year, and in 16 of those, he's had the guy out or on in less than 3 pitches. The 1-1 is grounded to Matt Cavanaugh, waits on it, tosses it to Lung, and then to Truslow, and the throw is in time. A 6-4-3 double play, the second inning-ending double play for the Larks today. That sends us to the 7th inning. Larks up 8-0 on Larks Network. Top of the 7th we go. Leading it off will be Corbin Truslow, and the third pitcher of the game for the Outlaws is a righty, Toby Welty from Vanguard University. Truslow comes to the box, has 9 RBIs in his last 17 innings played, and is 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles and a ground out. Righty versus lefty, the first delivery a fastball outside. Truslow reaches for it and fouls it off, 0-1. Welty making appearance number 16 this year, has an ERA of 4.18 and a whip of 1.4. He struck out 20 guys and walked half of that. All his appearances are in relief. He has a record of 3-1. Last pitched 2 days ago against the Rough Riders, where he went 2 innings in relief and has his count knotted up 1-1 to Truslow, the first baseman, in the 5 spot. On deck for Hayes is Sean Cooper in the hole. Max Mcguire. And Truslow sends a line drive up the middle. 3 straight singles today for Corbin. He's aboard with nobody out. We'll move to Sean Cooper to the box. It's Grant Lung on deck now. Max Mcguire is in the hole. Cooper replaced Palmer Hutchison in the last inning. Hutchison will finish his day 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a lineout. Sean had been courtesy running for Max Mcguire prior to this at-bat. Sean batting .279 this year with a .416 OBP, has scored 16 times and driven in 12. First delivery to him was a fastball low 1-0. Welty from Colorado Springs, played at Colby Community College in Kansas. 1-0 becomes 1-1 after a swing and a miss. He's listed as a catcher on Vanguard's roster, and on the Sox roster he's listed as a right-handed pitcher. He's a 6'4" junior. Delivers to Cooper, who fouls it off the top of his bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A runner on first. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. Larks up 8-0. Welty gets set. Infield creeps in. Corners playing in. And the delivery to him is at his knees inside part of the plate for a called strike 3. Third strikeout to the guy in the 6th spot in the order, but it's the first one for Sean Cooper. 1 away and a runner on first. We move to Grant Lung, who has 2 walks and 2 runs scored. His first look at Welty this year. Welty will go from the stretch. Righty versus lefty. Throws an outside delivery on a fastball that hits the zone. Called strike 1 on Lung. Lung was a leadoff hitter yesterday. He has fallen in the order to the 7th spot today. Second pitch to Grant, inside at his feet, 1-1. Mcguire on deck, Burr in the hole. Welty looks at Truslow a couple times and then goes to Lung. Catcher set up outside. It's grounded slowly up the middle. They'll get Truslow out, but Lung will be safely without a throw. Grant reaches on a fielder's choice. Truslow trots back to the dugout with 2 away. Now to Max Mcguire for 2 in the day with a double, a fly-out, and a walk. Also drove in a run in the 2nd inning. It was Grant Lung. Max, one of 3 guys on the Larks roster that have played for the Blue Dragons at Hutchison Community College. Wyatt Divis, alumni there. Mcguire, an alumni there. Zach Furniture has played there, and he still has another year of eligibility there if he wants to take it. 1-0 to the Doane University Tiger. Grant Lung has speed on first base. He's 3rd on the team in stolen bases. Doesn't take off here as it hits the turf and is off. Larks won 18-0 yesterday. They're up 8-0 here through the first 6 innings. Delivery number 3 to Mcguire's the first one that'll be in the zone. A called strike on the slider. Burr is on deck. Jaminian is in the hole. Burr started the game in right field, has been moved to left field, and Sean Cooper took over the right fielder's duties. Welty looks at Lung, offsets his feet, and goes from the stretch. It's right down the middle. Mcguire flies it to right field. Bates and McKee move towards it. Bates will call him off, and it drops. And it gets lost in the outfield. Lung gets sent home. Throw is caught off by Welty, and Lung is going to score from first base on an E9. Lung scores for the 3rd time today. Larks are up 9-0, still 2 away and a runner on first after the air. For Grant, that is run scored, number 23 this year, most on the team. Mcguire at first will get a courtesy runner in Trey Riggs. Riggs gets his applause for the dugouts. The first time he'll appear on the Bates Pats this year. Played for Hayes High and pitched and batted, but this year for the Larks, after playing for Dodge City as a pitcher only, will be pitching only this year, but will courtesy run from the catcher Mcguire, 1-0 on Burr. Riggs had a 6-2 record coming out of high school. He's 0-1 in his 1 year at Dodge City Community College. He gets his lead at first base with Burr up in the count 1-0. Welty gets set. It's at the feet of Bird. Riggs starts to take off to second base, pulls up, and the dugout has some laughs with them. They're very vocal today. It's always more fun when you're winning, especially when you're up by 9. 2-0 to Bird. The St. Louis Billiken headed to Louisville, Kentucky. Swings and misses. Is a little bit behind this one. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 away and a runner on first. This is the 5th guy the Larks have brought to the plate. They've had 3 reach, no walks, on a fielder's choice, an error, and a single. This one catches the inside part of the plate on Burr. Count knotted up at 2-2 to the left fielder. Jiminian on deck, Kavanaugh in the hole. Riggs gets some steps for his lead, and Burr starts to crowd the plate a little bit, and the delivery to him inside. Larks have been doing a lot of what Burr was doing. He's not necessarily crowding the plate, but he's set up inside with his back foot close to the batter's box line. Full counts for Burr. Riggs, nobody's holding him at first base. He takes off on the payoff pitch. It's skied back, and Dedrick and Welty look at it. It goes out of play. Larks on a 2-game winning streak. They need 9 more outs to make it a 3-game winning streak. Outlaws on a 1-game losing streak. 7 games back from the Larks in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. His second payoff pitch. Pitch number 7 to Burr. Riggs gets a good lead, takes off, and it is a walk on 7 pitches for Burr. 2 on with 2 outs. That error proving costly here in the 7th inning. Riggs at second, Burr at first, Jiminian to the box. Jiminian struck out in his first at bat, grounded out in his second, walked in his 4th, and then reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th, and then came around to score after a double from Kavanaugh. Nobody holding the runners on. They both get good leads, and the first delivery to Jiminian is high and outside, 1-0. Patty Walsh will take the mound for the bottom of the 7th, and he'll face Olson, Scholes, and Dedrick, the heart of the order for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. 2-0 as this one's inside on Jiminian. Larks have scored 1 this inning. They have 2 on. 1 of those is in scoring position. They scored 2 runs in the 1st and 3rd, 1 in the 2nd and now the 7th, and they got 3 in the last inning. This one, same spot for Jiminian, high and inside, 3-0. He'll be taken all the way as Kavanaugh gets his practice cuts on deck. Leo does take all the way. It's right down the pipe on a fastball. Welty hits the zone for the first time today against Jiminian. Hitters count for the center fielder from Clarendon College. He hits it hard to left field. Scholes takes a couple steps back, is in front of the warning track, takes a step in, and secures it. Larks leave 2 on in the 7th. They get 1. We move to the 7th inning stretch on Larks Network. Hayes up by 9. The 7th inning has been stretched, and we move to the bottom half of the inning. Patty Walsh to the mound for inning number 2. And the first guy leading off will be Justin Olson, the first baseman, and the cleanup hitter. 1 for 2 on the day, both at bats versus Ryan Reuter. He popped up to Palmer Hutchison in the 2nd and then singled in the 4th. 2 straight balls from the Aurora, Colorado native. And then he follows it up with a strike over the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and a strike for Patty Walsh. Got a ground out to start the 6th, then a walked a guy, and then got a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Hitters count for the cleanup hitter who made the Larks pay yesterday with a solo shot. He is way ahead of a changeup. Walsh fooled him with that one. We have a full count. In his 10th inning of work this year, Walsh had those 3 outs. He's in inning number 11, and his first payoff pitch is fouled out of play. We'll get a second one. Infield shifts right, and the second payoff pitch is fouled back. We'll get an 8-pitch at bat for the first baseman from the College of Southern Nevada. Righty versus righty. Payoff pitch number 3 is a fastball over the outside part of the plate. Again, fouled back. That was number 8. We'll get number 9 and a 4th payoff pitch. Grant Lung deep on the first base side, halfway between first and second. Matt Cavanaugh playing offset, close to the second base bag and back. It is a 9-pitch strikeout. Walsh got a nice curveball that started out in the right-hander's batter's box, and really quickly it moved over the outside part of the plate. Olson tossed his bat, headed to first, and umpire punched him out. For Walsh, that is strikeouts number 10 this year through 10 1/3 innings. 9 pitches, 1 strikeout. We move to the second hitter of the inning, Toby Scholes, and former Lark. He doubled in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th. It's his first look at Patty Walsh. Swing and a miss. He's over it, 1-1. With Walsh on the mound, 3 Fort Hays State Tigers have pitched in the past 2 days against the Outlaws. Ryan Reuter, Cole Zimmerman, and now Patty. This one drops into the zone late on a changeup. 1-2. Walsh has looked really good on his past 4 pitches. Goes from the windup fastball right down the pipe. Scholes is sent back to the dugout on strikes for the 2nd time today. This one is first one looking. Walsh has struck out the first 2 batters he's faced in the 7th. And we'll move to the 6th spot. Braden Dedrick, the catcher, 0 for 2 in the day, grounded out to Palmer Hutchison in the 2nd, and then had a 5-4-3 double play to end the 4th inning. Base is empty, 2-way. Walsh misses the zone, 1-0. He pops this one up middle of the field. Jimenian moves back, calls off Drew Burr, makes the catch in center field. 3 up, 3 down for Walsh. He's gotten 6 outs and no runs or a hit. We move to the 8th inning. Larks up 9-0. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Hey Larks fans, click that subscribe button. It's completely free. This isn't like a magazine subscription or a TV subscription. You won't get billed, you won't get spam emails, but you will help us reach our goal. Right now we're at about 600 subscribers, but we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We have thousands of views from this season, but only 600 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe when you're watching if you haven't yet. When you hit that button, the Larks will show up in your subscription section of your account. That's it. No fees, no payments, no registration or information. Share the Larks YouTube page with your friends and tune into our broadcast. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel, supporting the team, and subscribing. The Larks have the best fans and we're grateful for Larks Nation. Now, let's get back to the game. Top of the 8th we go. Leading it off is the shortstop, Matt Cavanaugh. 1 for 4 in the day with a run scored and a run driven in on a double in the 6th inning. Takes a delivery outside, 1-0 on the Maverick from the University of Texas at Arlington. On deck is Divis in the hole, Pearson. This one hits 5 feet in front of the plate off the turf, 2-0. Walsh and Reuter combined for 7 scoreless innings. Ryan Reuter went for 5, no walks allowed 4 hits. Walsh came in, has allowed a walk and no hits, and struck out 2 in the last inning. 3 straight balls to Matt Cav to start the inning as Toby Welty is back to the mound for inning number 2. Had a run come across him in the 7th and is in danger of putting on Matt Cavanaugh on 4 pitches, and he does just that. 4-pitch walk for Matt Cavanaugh, second straight time Matt Cavanaugh will reach base. Leadoff base runner for Hayes as Wyatt Divis comes to the box. Divis 3 for 4 in the day with 3 hits, 2 singles, and a double, 2 runs scored and 1 driven in. His first delivery over the outside part of the plate on a fastball, 0-1. Divis has 7 extra base hits this year, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. And his second pitch is off the turf, 1-1. That's the 3rd pitch Welty has thrown this inning that has hit the green turf. Cavanaugh gets his lead at first base with Olsen holding him there. Third pitch to Divis is popped back and out of play. We'll go to 1-2. Cavanaugh has stolen 1 base this year on 1 attempt. We'll stay 1-2. Nobody out, runner on first in the top of the 8th. Larks up 9-0. Welty gets set, delivers for a called strike 3 on Wyatt Divis. He heads to the dugout for the 2nd time today. Gives his bat to Pearson, who will dig into the right-hander's batter's box. 2 for 4 on the day with a strikeout and lineout. 2 runs scored and an RBI with a triple and a double. 1 away, Matt Cav at first. Pearson in the box. Truslow on deck. Cooper in the hole. Righty versus righty. Welty gets set. The catcher sets up down the middle. The throw is down the middle, but low, 1-0. Outfield shifted a little bit left for the righty, Cameron Pearson, who sent a 1 hard hit ball down the left field line in his last at-bats. That was almost a home run. This one again hit hard to left field. Scholes moves towards it, but it bounces in front of him. Cavanaugh is held up at second. And now Cameron Pearson, if he could get another at-bat, is a home run shy of the cycle. 2 on, 1 away in the top of the 8th. As Corbin Truslow is to the box, he's 3 for 4. Has 2 straight singles, grounded out in the 3rd and singled in the 1st. Has driven in 3 runs, and he has 1 in scoring position. This is the Larks' 5th time through the order. We're at the 5 hole. Welty goes towards him. It's in the batter's box over the white line for a ball, 1-0. 9-0 lead for Hayes. Could make it double digits with 1 swing of the bat. The 1-0 to Truslow from the stretch. Inside again. 2 straight balls to the first baseman from Georgetown, Texas. We had a Lark moving in the pen as Jacob Wyeth and Zach Furniture will head back to the dugout from the left side of the field. The 2-0 is popped up and backwards out of play. 2-1. Cavanaugh started the inning out with a walk. Divis struck out, and Pearson just hit a hard line drive for a single. RBIs today have come from Kavanaugh, Divis, Pearson, Truslow, and Mcguire. Runs have scored 3 times for Lung, twice for Pearson, twice for Divis, 1 for Kavanaugh and Jeminian. Welty will go from the stretch. Truslow hits a hardline drive to the right field side. Bates moved towards it. Kavanaugh is going to be sent home. Pearson will be held at third. It's a 10-0 lead for the Larks. Truslow picks up RBI number 4 today. Kavanaugh scores for the second time. Truslow, in 17 innings against the Outlaws these past 2 days, has 10 RBIs. Runners on the corners with 1 away to Sean Cooper. So if Patty Walsh can go out and throw a scoreless bottom of the 8th, the game will be over on a run rule. For Corbin, that's RBI number 26 this year. For the Cowboy, Matt Cow, that is run score number 17. 1-0 on the right fielder from Cochise College. His other teammate from Cochise College is 90 feet away from scoring at third base. The 1-0 to Cooper down the middle for a called strike 1. Pearson at third, Truslow at first, Cooper at the dish with Grant Lung getting warmed up on deck. Swing and a miss as Cooper misses above this one on a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 away. Larks got 1 already in this inning, and 1's 90 feet away. Cooper will strike out for the second straight time and 2 straight innings. The 6th spot in the order has struck out 4 times today. 2 from Hutchison, 2 from Cooper. There's 2 away. To the plate now is Grant Lung. 0 for 2 on the day, reaching on a fielder's choice and striking out, but he's reached base 3 times thanks to 2 walks, and he's scored every time he's reached base. Pops this one up over the right side. Bates moves towards it in right center field. He gets under it on the fly ball and makes the catch for out number 3. Larks get 1 in the 8th. Patty Walsh needs to go get 3 outs to send the Larks home an inning early as we move to the bottom of the 8th on Larks Network. Bottom of the 8th we go. To the mound for the Larks is Zach Furniture. Fires in a first pitch strike to number 8, Nate Heffelbauer, who is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts. It's his first look at Furniture after his first 2 looks were against Ryan Reuter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Walsh has pitched 2 innings. Ryan Reuter has pitched 5. Furniture is making appearance number 7, gets a called strike, painting the outside bottom corner, 1-2. Furniture's last appearance was on Friday, got yesterday off, came in for the 9th inning against the Saints, allowed 2 hits, and a run came across on him with 1 strikeout. This one's fouled off. We'll stay at 1-2 for pitch number 5 of the day for Zach Furniture. Started his first 2 appearances, 1 against the Cougars, 1 against the Pirates, and now his last 5 have been in relief. No decisions, but gets a strikeout on 5 pitches, 1 away, and that's strikeout number 13 on the year for Furniture. To Aaron Burkhoff we go, 1 for 2 on the day, and he's the DH, singling in the 3rd. Bunch of goose eggs in the scoreboard on the home side, and it's a swing and a miss. For the Larks, they've scored in every inning but the 4th and 5th, 0-1. Firm has an ERA of 6.2 and a whip above 2 barely. Misses outside, 1-1. Furniture from Omaha, Nebraska. His first year with the Larks after playing 2 years at Hutchinson. Was the 18th overall prospect coming out of high school in Nebraska and the 6th overall right-handed pitcher. We'll get a foul ball, and we'll get another 5-pitch at-bat. Zach has made 23 appearances for the Blue Dragons and has a record of 3-4 at Hutchinson and has started 22 games. Outside fastball, 2-2. Furniture has allowed 13 hits this year, just 6 earned runs, only walking 5 guys. Throws a curveball, a nasty one that drops into the zone, sliding in the plate for a called strike. 3 back-to-back strikeouts for Zach Furniture, and the Outlaws are down to their final out. They'll need to get at least 1 if they don't want to be run-ruled in the 8th inning. Furniture now has struck out 14 guys, and Burkhoff is 1 for 3 on the day. 1 ball, no strikes to Andrew Churchill, who is 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out and a sacrifice bunt. Furniture goes from the windup. It's popped over to the right side. Corbin Truslow moves under it and catches it right in front of the bag for out number 3. That'll end the game here from Colorado Springs as the Larks run-rule the Outlaws 10-0. The winning pitcher will be Ryan Reuter. Start of the game went 5 innings strong, allowed 4 hits, no walks, and he struck out 3 guys. Patty Walsh came in for 2 innings, got 6 outs, and struck out 1. Zach Furniture comes in, gets the final 3 in the 8th inning, as that last pop-up goes to Truslow for out number 3. The Outlaws go through their order 3 times and get 24 outs. So anytime you can limit the guys through their order 3 times, that's almost guaranteed a win. Larks go through their order not quite 5 times. The Larks get 11 hits. They pick up 6 walks and leave 10 guys on base, get just as many runs. Outlaws get 4 hits, 1 walk from Patty Walsh, no runs scored, and they leave 3 guys on. Outlaws will fall to 15-20 on the season overall. 10-7 in conference play. They're on a 2-game losing streak, 8 games back in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. The Larks are now 15-6 on the season on a 3-game winning streak. They now are leading the Denver Cougars by a half game in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. They'll get tomorrow off, and then they'll play the NoCo Rough Riders on Tuesday from Larks Park. First pitch at 7 p.m. Central Time. So Larks go 3-1 on their second road trip of the year. They win it here from